Hello, everybody, and welcome back to day number 20 of this 92-day video training series. Each day, we're attempting to give you a really short video delivered directly to your inbox, where you can see the exact same steps that we have used, the exact same strategies. We hold nothing back. Now, remember the big problem that we're trying to solve. We're trying to show you how to consistently, note the word consistently, how to consistently land either 1, 2 or 3, 4 or 5, whatever number that you can handle of these high ticket offer clients. In other words, how to convert these prospects into high ticket paying clients, people that are price aware, people that are problem aware. Now, how do we do this? I believe fundamentally that we're not at that position yet where we can give them this outstanding offer. First and foremost, what we've got to think about is lead generation. And perhaps even more importantly, what we've got to do is think about quality lead generation. And as I like to say, quality scored lead generation. So first and foremost, let me tell you a very short story. Cast your mind way back to 2012. 2012, I was working for this client, and his name was Julian Lennon. He is an accomplished musician, and now he is an accomplished, famous photographer. So a person there that goes out and takes these amazing photographs. But during the 1980s, he had a string of these musical hits, Much Too Late for Goodbyes, Salt Water, etc., etc. Very, very accomplished musician, but also a very accomplished photographer. Now, one of the things that I was hired to do in 2012 was to boost his marketing campaign. So if you can imagine what happened there one day, and I was called into, in those days, a Skype video meeting, and there were some very unhappy people. There was his manager, Steve Roberts, the person who was in charge of this project, like the project manager. There were people there like Patrick Cousins, Senior. There are Brett Cousins, Patrick Cousins. His company was called Music from Another Room. And what they were doing was they were very unhappy because I had just lost 270,000 leads. Yes, that's right. That number is correct. Approximately 270,000 leads. Now, how did I lose? How did I manage there to lose 270,000 leads? I laugh now, but at that time it was very serious, and I thought I was being fired right down. I thought I was staring down the barrel of a gun. So I seriously thought I was going to be fired from this campaign, from this very interesting project. So I want to share my screen with you, and I want to show you how I prevented myself from being fired, and I showed that I was actually producing quite a lot of quality. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is a very rough concept, a very rough sketch of what actually happened. So what I did was I took Julian's Facebook page, and at that time there were approximately 850 something thousand followers after we had launched an advertising campaign. It was a really nice little advertising campaign. Back in those days, in 2012, YouTube and Facebook looked a little bit different. And what we did was we produced an animated character, an animated version of this client, Julian Lennon. And we had the animated character walking towards the screen and tapping on the screen as if it were one of those old television screens. So it made a noise. And then the animated character, imagine that you've got the frame of the television or the frame of the outline as it was in those days in YouTube. So you've got the frame of the video. And what it looked like was, this was all superimposed, of course. The character, the animated character, was getting out, and his little blue and black pinstriped flared bottom trousers were hanging over the edge of the screen. And then the artist, this artist, Julian Lennon, was delivering a message to them. One of these first, let's call them VSLs, video sales letter messages. So in other words, where the text was being displayed on the screen. And the text, the message of this site was very, very, very simple. The message about the page was very simple. Number one, this page is not a Beatles page in reference to the musical group that his father set up with people like Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. So then we went on further to say, this site is not a John Lennon site. So in reference to his father, the legendary Beatle and the legendary musician in his own right, John Lennon, the late, the great John Lennon, who was unfortunately assassinated in 1980. And then we went on furthermore to say that this site, that this page is a Julian Lennon page. And what we had actually done was we had set up, without realizing it at the time, we had set up our first waiting list. Because at that time, how I defended myself was very simply by saying the people. I had analyzed the results coming in. We had all of the results recorded on Facebook, all of the leads coming in. We put up a very simple ad, paid ad, onto YouTube and onto Facebook. And whenever we look at the results, most of those people were coming in. And when we looked into their bios, etc., they were huge Beatles fans. They were huge John Lennon fans. And this was not what this site was about. This site was about philanthropy. Julian is involved in a lot of these campaigns to save the world, to prevent world hunger, to make sure that everybody has access to clean drinking water. And that was a very phenomenal shift. And whenever I lost those 270,000 leads, it was because they were not congruent with Julian's message. So I brought the site down to a following of just over 580,000 people, which was still a very phenomenal marketing list to have. Because then, even if we could get 1% of these people interested in Julian's mission to provide clean water, to put an end to world hunger, to save the world, to save the whale campaign. He was involved with Greenpeace, with a lot of other of those organizations. There are those charitable organizations. And what we did there was we did something actually quite phenomenal, and it secured our place for a long time to come. And then we were able to create for Julian, as you can see here on the screen, we were able to create for Julian this animated world, this world consisting of places there where he recorded his music, where he could even go to the moon and sell moon plots there. And of course, all of the proceeds were going to charity. We invented this one-armed bandit where almost like a slot machine. Then what you could do is you could win points and prizes. There on the left-hand side, you see his gallery, where you could take part in parts of Julian's life. When Julian was a child, Julian growing up through his teenage years, Julian in his adult years as a musician, and then as a photographer, as a filmographer, as a person there who produced these short movies. And it was really incredible there what we were able to do. But we were able to do this by becoming magnetically attractive to our ideal targeted prospect and repellent to those who were just there to see, oh, is he going to be posting anything about his father? Is he going to be posting anything about the Beatles? And inside this domain, there were, of course, we would redirect the people to Lennon.net or to John Lennon or to the Beatles website there, if there were those people. So we would send them all a nice, friendly little message. But in other words, we were just making it 100% clear the problems that we were solving through Julian's animated worlds. So now let's take this forward and let's imagine there that we've got 3 case stories. So we've got one where we've got a coach who is interested in improving the quality of water, the water quality and how we put it into our bodies without using bottled water. Okay, so there he's got a solution for this. We've also got another coach, a sworn translator coach, who is interested in providing a platform where the people can exchange templates, document templates for their sworn translation business. And then we've also got another coach who is interested in helping people to speak with success from the stage. So I'm going to share my screen with you once again, and we're going to go through these 3 examples. So in each example, what we're going to do is we're going to show you, number 1, let's call it the post, the organic post, or the paid ad. Remember, folks, for the organic posts, you still pay for this in terms of your time. Whereas if you pay a platform, for example, Facebook or Meta, let's say, to give them their proper name, if you pay to Meta ads, or if you pay to YouTube ads, or if you pay to Google ads, then you are paying them for reach. But if you want to do this manually, then you have to pay for this with your time, or with the time of your team, of course, which will have an additional expense. So please don't think there that, oh, if I do things organically, I do things for free. No, 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 far from it. There you're paying people for reach, either if you pay the platforms directly, you put up a small budget, or if you pay for it with your time. So this is the way that I do it with all of my clients. So let's imagine this first case story. I always call them case stories, by the way, because I think that they're a lot more user-friendly. People are much more likely to read and to become involved in a case story compared to a case study. Note the word. So let's imagine this one. So this is for a water ionization coach. And let's say the problem that he's trying to solve. So he could go out and he could say something like this. I'm exploring the idea of setting up a discussion group. Now note the word discussion group, because remember, this comes next in our puzzle after we set up our waiting list. Remember, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these quality scored leads. So let's see the strategy and let's see how this will work. To optimize the quality of our water intake without using bottled water, which of course leads to problems like the huge amount of plastic waste, the huge amount of landfills, the huge amount of their littering our seas and our oceans, etc. We've got a lot of pollutants, a lot of debris caused from these plastic bottles. So this coach has got a particular solution which doesn't require the use of bottled water. And then at the same time, you can still improve your gut health, your bacterial health by drinking this healthy water. So it's very interesting. And then just like myself, if you're interested, then come along and join the waiting list. Very simple. Now, what happens next? Let's have a look. So next then you come along to the landing page, the squeeze page. In other words, the parts there where we're going to find out their data. Because at the beginning, remember, what we've done is we've shown them perhaps 1 or 2 or 3 little videos through an organic post or through a paid ad on either Facebook or on YouTube or on Google. Okay, those are the 3 main platforms that we use for advertising. You could also do the organic posts on LinkedIn there, or on TikTok if you want to, or on X. It's all possible. You can even do it on all of them if you want. But then we would take them through to the landing page. Now, the landing page, please note, the colors are almost the same. So you see the colors. Now, this is really important. Make sure that your CTA, in other words, your call to action button, you see this big red button? It's red with white text, and it stands out against that page. And make sure that this CTA color is only used for the CTA. This is why we recommend the use of red, unless, of course, it's used elsewhere in your page, in which case then you should use maybe a blood orange or something like that. But make sure it contrasts to your page. Make sure it stands out. Okay? So you see then you're taking them through to a page that looks the same, that has got the same type of imagery, that has got the same type of videos, that has got the same type of messaging. And then quite simply here, you're asking them, interested in optimizing your water quality and intake for health. Very short, sharp, shattering headline. And then quite simply underneath it there, the button says, take our 10-question quiz and find out how. And then underneath it, there you've got the the legal disclaimer. Results delivered immediately to your inbox. And sometimes we even add in the time investment. It usually takes them about 2.5 to 3 minutes. So in other words, between 150 to 180 seconds for them to fill out all of the quiz. Because at the end of the quiz, they get the opportunity to leave their name, their email address, and their cell phone number. Okay, but you've usually got about 9 multiple choice questions and then 1 open-ended question, which will make them think and which will deliver to us very, very, very valuable data. And remember then, underneath this, we will have a problem-solving video. Now note the size of the font. It's slightly larger than the agitate solution and benefits underneath it. That's a key technique, because what it does with the use of video, etc., studies have shown that it keeps people on our pages, on our landing pages, squeeze pages, about 67% longer. So this is what the studies, the data has shown us back. So in other words, the problem-solving video, remember, we state the problem very clearly. We agitate the problem. In other words, we make it worse. We twist the knife. Then we present them your coaching solution. So in other words, the blind spot that you're resolving, the challenge you're resolving for these people. And the benefits, in other words, the transformational outcome that these people, that your past clients have achieved going through your coaching journey, whether it's all about healthy water or whether it's about something else. Maybe you're a business coach, maybe you're a life coach, maybe you're a relationship coach, but whatever it is, the problem that you're solving, you would just state it here. Showing on your screens now is the second case study, and this is for a sworn translator. Now, what you will see is that they're exploring the idea of a niche within a niche. Remember, always try to nurture those nuanced niches. In other words, the niches inside the niches, or niches inside the niches, if you want to call it like that. Now then, this person could come along and say, I'm exploring the idea of setting up a discussion group. Remember? So we move from the waiting list and we prepare their minds in advance that they're going to be entering into a discussion group, which sort of symbolizes to me the idea of being involved in a community. For example, this could be on WhatsApp, this could be on Telegram, this could be on Signal. This could be even on a Facebook group, something there that they're already familiar with using, people. It's always a good idea. So then they're interested in joining this sworn translator discussion group based in Poland, and then are promoting the exchange and the sharing of document templates so that they can work better, faster, and quicker than they ever thought possible. Then you've got a nice little creative, in other words, the image, making it clear that this is all about translation. So then that what we can do is we can get really specific. And then down below, as always, the CTA, the call to action, interested, join our waiting list. Then what will that move on to? That will move on to, just as before, the landing page, the squeeze page. Are you interested in contributing to a shared document exchange platform? So if they are interested, then what we will do is we will invite them to take part, to participate in our 10-question quiz. Remember, 9 multiple choice questions, 1 open-ended questions, which will deliver to us very, 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 very nice insights, very valuable data. And then which will help us to achieve our objective of getting these quality scored leads, which we will then convert a percentage off, let's say a very high percentage off, because at this stage, the people are price aware, they're problem aware, they're aware that you know, you've gone to all of this trouble of setting up these ads or these organic posts, and then of these landing pages. So at the bottom, as always, we have our problem-solving video. Problem, state the problem, agitate it, make it worse, present your solution, and present the benefits, the transformational outcome. Very simple formula, and just repeat, repeat, repeat. Now, this is the third case story, and this is for speaking with confidence coach. So in other words, there we could come along with the hard-hitting pain point. There, I myself suffered from this problem. So I went to a legendary coach all of those years ago in 2019 to overcome my fear. I was petrified. I was terrified about the idea, the concept of having to speak on stage or even on a Zoom room in front of all of these people. So we could get to them with the hard-hitting pain point. Are you introverted? Are you shy? Are you nervous? You know, does the thought of speaking, getting up there and speaking on stage, turn you into a quivering bowl of jelly? Yeah, and it really was like that, where your legs felt like they couldn't carry you up the stairs to that stage, where your mouth would suddenly dry up when you were forced to speak. All of those horrible things, I remember them as clearly as if it were yesterday, and I wish all the time that it were tomorrow. And but once you get over it, once you get over these initial fears, wow, the journey that you could go on with these people, it was absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. So anyway, well, I'm exploring the idea of setting up a discussion group of these shy, introverted, nervous people who would like to speak with confidence and deliver their message to their ideal targeted prospects. And then you've got the creative, in other words, the image, speak with success from the stage. And you see the creative even speaks words for itself, doesn't it? So even the creative alone. So remember, these people will be skimming, scanning, and scrolling through their Facebooks, their Instagrams, their TikToks, their X platform, their YouTubes, their LinkedIns, whatever. And what we want to do is we want to stop them from skimming, scanning, and scrolling. Boom. And we can get them just for a fraction of a millisecond. And then they're thinking themselves, speak with success from the stage. Hold on a second. Yes, yes, yes. You know, I am a coach, or I do have a message there that I would like to share about my business, and it's very important there. So we reach out to the CEOs, the CTOs, there, those people that have to deliver these important, powerful messages. And 9 times, well, no, what is it? It's 7.7 times out of 10 there that people interviewed have got a problem, admit to having a problem when they're speaking from the stage. So if they have got a problem, remember, we're not saying, you know, buy now, or, you know, 2 for whatever. What we are saying is, look, if you're interested, just join our waiting list, join our discussion group, okay? And then once they've joined, then we say to them immediately from the landing page, from the squeeze page, because remember, this is the point where they're at their hottest. Interested in joining a community of like-minded people to see if it really is possible to speak with confidence from the stage, to speak with success from the stage. Take our 10-question quiz and find out now. And then results delivered directly, delivered immediately to your inbox. And again, as I said before, we can put in the time thing. There would be about 2.5 to 3 minutes there. And after that, the results there, they're all segmented down. You send them off to the people, and then you say, well, look, you scored really highly here. You scored really, really well here. This was your overall score. And then you say to them, but there in this one here, maybe you didn't do so well. Maybe they only got 8 out of 10. Would you like to improve your score? And out of 100 people, believe you me, 97, 98, quite often 99 of those 100 people will say, yes, you know, I'd love to learn how to improve my score. Okay, great. Here's our booking calendar. Poof. And remember, down below, you're under the fold, as we call it in technical terms, on this landing page, on this squeeze page, we say to them, problem solving video number 1. So we took this person, maybe they had a stutter, or they had a speech impediment. Put them up on stage, look at them before, look at them after. Maybe it's a 3-day workshop, maybe it's a whatever it is, maybe it's a 90-minute webinar. Doesn't really matter. But what you're saying to them is like, look, this person there had this problem. This person had, in my case, Parkinson's, Tourette's, whatever. And then you agitate the problem. You show them how bad it can get. And believe you me, it can get pretty bad. But then by following these techniques, these strategies that we're going to implement for you, the solution is closer than you think. And then the fanfare, here are the benefits. Here's the outcome. Look at these people now. And then you show them the after. You show them the people there with the the speech impediments there, like my professor had, and then how he overcame it. There are the people, the other people, then, and how they can come up and how they can speak on the stage. And I remember when I went to that workshop, I remember I was even surprised. I was in awe of me and how much I had transformed myself from the Monday until the Friday. And I was just thinking to myself, this is absolutely unbelievable. And it was me standing there projecting myself, delivering my message to all of these people. Incredible. And that's what we're trying to achieve, people. So I hope that you found this video very, very useful, because you see, whenever we position ourselves like this, and we introduce the idea of these waiting lists, these discussion groups, or you could call them challenges, or you could call them events, what you're doing is you're not being at all salesy. You're not like pushing your offer down their throat and saying, oh, look, come to me, you know, I'll do you a special offer, 2 for $10,000 or whatever a month. No, 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 we're not doing that. We're asking them, we're inviting them to join a waiting list and then to become part of this community, to become part of a discussion group. And then all of a sudden it makes much more sense, much more sense. So anyway, in tomorrow's video, we're going to be back to Kartra, and we're going to be showing you how to implement those landing pages, those squeeze pages, which will in turn give way to our offer. So once we've applied these people, and once we've invited these people onto our booking calendars, then we can get them up and running, and then we can introduce to them our outstanding offers. But at the beginning, it's very simple. Invite them to a waiting list, take them through the relevant ones, the ones that score highly enough. You can set your benchmark at whatever it wants. There you can set at 30%, 20%, 70%, 80%, depends on the number of leads that come in. And then you only deal with the quality. In other words, the people that have really, 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 really thought about it. You remember the example I used? The person who comes back to me and says, I've got 20,000 leads, Paul, period. And the person who comes back to me and says, I've got 20,000 leads, but I know 50 valuable pieces of data about every single one of these 20,000 leads. Now, which one would you rather deal with? I know which one I would rather deal with. Definitely the person who gives me the more in-depth answer, because I score them on every single word that they put in. Of course, the words have to make sense. They're not just like copying and pasting random text. The words have to make sense. But whenever a person comes back to me with a let's say a small 500-word message, compared to I've got 20,000 leads, 4 words. Come on, there, if you apply this length function, which I do, then you can see automatically, wow, this is a person who has really thought about this answer. And you can see it also in the length of time that they've taken to fill in your quiz, because you get to see how many minutes and how many seconds there that they did, but it returns very, very, very valuable data. And it leads us to solving the problem of quality lead gen. And once we solve the problem of quality lead gen, so in other words, once we've got quality prospects lining up, enthused, enthusiastic, price aware, problem aware, they're aware of the problems you solve, and they're aware of your price, your offer. And then by the time that they sit down to speak with you one-on-one on Zoom for your high ticket offer, I think it's a little bit of a no-brainer that you can convert without a shadow of a doubt 60 to 70 to 80% of those conversions. And that's what makes it truly powerful. So that's what we're going to be speaking about again in tomorrow's video. And we're going to be showing you this then inside Kartra. And then finally, as always, let me leave you with those all too familiar questions. Hopefully, if you've been watching all of the videos before, if you haven't, please go back and watch them. Please try to watch at least 1 video per day. Now, the questions, as always, are question number 1. How many outstanding offers have you made today? And I hope today has helped you really to focus on, because this is something there that should take you minutes to set up, And then you can imagine there that if you've got your list, and let's say your list has got at least 1,000 leads on it. If it hasn't, go to your LinkedIn, go to your Facebooks, look through your groups, even the dormant groups. Big tip there. And then bring them in. Get your list up to 1,000. Go through your cell phone directory. Go through the numbers, the contact numbers that you have on your smartphone. Find them. Put them together. And then go out there and break that at least 1,000 list into groups, 10 groups of 100. And then go out there and ask them. Go out there and ask them. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And if you're putting out 100 offers per day, this will lead into the second question. How many rejections have you got? So if you're putting out, like I do, I put out 100 offers every single day of the week, 7 days of the week, 365 days of the year. And then you can imagine that the people that will come back, there will, of course, be the coaches who don't want to take action, who want to sit there and wait for these magical word-of-mouth referrals. And that's using luck as a strategy. Don't get me wrong. It's a testimony. It's a powerful testimony to the power of that coach. But it's unpredictable. You don't know whether these word-of-mouth referrals are going to come in this week, next month, next year, next quarter, whatever. But this is a strategy that really works. We put out 100 offers a day, and yes, we'll get some rejections, but we're going to embrace rejection. We're going to set ourselves daily rejection goals, weekly rejection goals, quarterly rejection goals, and yearly rejection goals. And believe you me, when you do this, you have a fundamental mindset shift. Difficult word to say, mindset shift. You change your mentality, and you're actually looking forward to those rejections, because inside those rejections, yes, you will get rejections. And once you wake up and realize this, then but what you're going to do is you're going to challenge these people. You're going to make it even clearer. You're going to come back to them with a really nice Uber-friendly message. And quite often not. The people will change. You know, some of my customers will testify to, yes, you know, initially I said, no, go away. No, thanks. Not interested. I use word of mouth referrals only as my strategy. Okay, well, how's that going for you? And then you say to them, okay, well, like, look, let's have a look at this. Would you just be interested in just joining our community? We've got a community on WhatsApp. Okay. Right. So would you be interested in joining our waiting list? Yes. Okay. I would. Right. Well, there, to join it and to become part of this discussion group, you have to take part in this 10-question quiz. So to take the 10-question quiz, well, full disclosure, I think there's now 12, 13 questions on the quiz, but they're all like multiple choice, and there's one open-ended question. And they take it. And sometimes it takes them 3 minutes, sometimes it takes them 3 minutes, 45 seconds. And afterwards they say, you made me think. And that's the eureka moment. That's the moment there that you realize, okay, there is a very good possibility there of inviting this person into our community and making this person feel ultra special. So I hope that you all found those 3 case stories very educational. Remember, at the beginning of the video, I showed you how I managed to lose, what was it, 270, just over 270,000 leads for a client. But in actual fact, this was a blessing in disguise, because what we were doing, what I didn't realize in those days that I was doing, this was in 2012. This was creating my first waiting list, building up people there that were truly congruent with this person's message. In other words, that were a truly excellent fit for this client. And then I showed you those case stories, for example, for the water ionization coach. I showed you those examples there. And that example that I showed you of Julian Lennon, that could be used, for example, if you're a musician coach. So if you want to teach these people how to become a professional drummer, a professional musician. And I also showed you the example of the sworn translator coach. I also showed you the example of the person who would like to help these people to speak with confidence, to speak with success from the stage. So 3 very valid case stories. But if you're to come to me and say, oh, but I'm a coach and this won't work for me, yes, it will. Yes, it will. All we have to do is just like position ourselves a little bit further back. Instead of going through this usual routine of, oh, here's my website. I've built it out with all of these bells and whistles and funky things and tips and tricks and hacks and whatever. Da, 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 da. Instead, just thinking to yourself, okay, how can I consistently land these clients? And how I'm going to consistently land these clients is through quality lead generation. Okay, so we have to take a little bit of a step back and we have to think about the quality lead generation that are coming into the top of our funnel so that we stand a much, much, much better chance, people, of converting these people into high ticket clients. Very simple. Anyway, as always, this has been me, Paul, PG Mac, saying peace out, bye for now. And as always, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye. Bye for now.